from nothing to something like it's nothing. Yeah, you know I done it, that is no discussion, bitch, I'm ballin'.
Hey, what's up guys, Henry the Blazing here, and as you can see, we got the collection reward, Reggie Lewis. He is an 89 overall, and when you do collect him, it does contribute towards the historic collection reward, Amethyst Sam Jones. So this is something to think about if you guys do like Sam Jones as a card. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at this card. As most of you may or may not know, this card was one of my favorite cards last year. He was an absolute beast, played super consistent, and he is doing the exact same thing this year, but we will look at gameplay a little bit later. As you can see right here, the guy is 195 pounds. He's 6'7", amazing height for a shooting guard. Well, not crazily amazing. He's no 6'8" T-Mac, but 6'7" is pretty up there for a shooting guard. He's got the 87 defensive overall and an 89 offensive overall. We go ahead and look at his stats, and you can see he's got the 92 driving layup. Man is going to get to the rim. He's got an 88 draw foul, which is one of the higher draw fouls I've seen amongst cards. Cards don't seem to have too high of a draw foul this year unless you're in the Amethyst tiers. We continue to go down, and he's got a beautiful open mid-range of a 92, shooting it off the dribble at a 90, only an 86 contested, but 86 is still amazing. Now at the 3, he's more of a catch and shoot. As you can see, he's only got a 76 open 3, but he can't exactly shoot off the dribble, nor if it's contested. But don't get me wrong, this guy can hit threes. Don't just let these attributes determine how good this card is, because you will see that later. When he does get to the line, he's got a beautiful 87 free throw for those of you that need a card with a consistent free throw. And his ball control, he can actually speed boost if you do give him a shoot, so there is the benefit there. Passing wise, he's nothing crazy. You don't expect that from a shooting guard. As we continue to go down, you see that he's actually pretty good on the defensive end. 82 lateral quickness, 81 pass perception. As much as that block only says 68, 68 is fairly good stats for a guard actually. The man blocks a lot of shots. He doesn't steal much with a 68 steal rating, so don't reach. The reaching is aids enough in this game. If you reach, it's going to be a foul every time, so they really stopped reach cheesing this year. I really like that a lot. But he's got the 80 defensive consistency, 86 on-ball defense, 80 pick and roll, 78 help defense. So you can see that he's an above average defender. He's not absolutely phenomenal, but he is above average enough where you're not going to be struggling defending guys with this card. Now comes my favorite part about this card. As you can see, he's got an 80 standing dunk. And you can see at the very bottom, a 93 driving dunk, but that's not all. This guy has an 85 contact dunk. This is the highest contact dunk I have on a card yet. Yes, even compared to that Shaquille O'Neal that I have. He does not have a high contact dunk, and he catches bodies. So you guys don't even know the kinds of bodies this card catches. I've played a couple games with this card already, and this contact dunk is just amazing. To go along with the speed with ball and acceleration, the momentum into the dunks of this card, absolutely amazing. I think a lot of you would love it. 88 vertical contributes to his vertical, or obviously 88 vertical contributes to his vertical. Sorry guys. 88 vertical is going to contribute to his dunking ability, how high he's jumping. It's amazing. 94 stamina. He's going to be on the court for a while. Not the strongest reaction time, but a very nice offensive consistency. Now, just from looking at these stats, you guys can see that he's more of an offensive player than a defensive player. He can play defense, but he's not meant to be like the best two-way player. He's no Kawhi Leonard, he's no LeBron James, but he is very good on the offensive end as opposed to the defensive end. So if you guys are looking for a player that's more offense than defense, this is definitely one of the better shooting guards for you. We go ahead and take a look at his system proficiencies, and I'm just going to go top to bottom. For those of you that are looking for one in these, I'm going to leave this here for a second so you guys can see, but I'm going to let you guys know, as you can see there, his best one is the balanced, followed by his second best, 7-second, and then perimeter centric, which is his third best one. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at his badges here, and these are really nice. You can see that he comes with gold mid-range Deadeye, gold tireless scorer, gold catch and shoot, gold posterizer, gold acrobat, and gold relentless finisher. I think these are honestly one of the most expensive badges that goes on a card. All of these badges are cheaper than what I paid for the collection. I can tell you that for a fact. That's how expensive badges are this year. All these badges combined are cheaper, are more expensive than what I paid for this collection. The collection costs less than all these badges combined. Think about that for a moment. That's how expensive badges are this year, and not one of these badges would I take off of this player, which I find an amazing thing. He wasn't given some trash flashy passer or just things you wouldn't need, like flashy passer, putback king on a shooting guard, just stupid stuff like break starter, especially all those little things. This card was given the badges he needs, and he uses every single one at an awesome proficiency. I would add maybe deep range Deadeye, because just to help with his contested 3 that's only at a 70. He does hit open 3s though, like I said. Regardless, cards look absolutely amazing, but we're gonna go ahead and quickly jump into freestyle. I'm gonna show you some animations with the card. We're gonna talk about how good the card is, the pros, the cons, and why I recommend you guys pick him up over other shooting guards. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've got Reggie Lewis here. I'm going to go ahead and quickly turn on his hot zones, and one thing you notice right away, like I said, his hot zones are all around the 3. For a guy that only had a 76 overall 3, the man can actually shoot 3s. I get a late release there, but you can see how many hot zones he has. Now, obviously, I'm going to let you guys know that he's not the guy you want to give the ball last second to shoot that 3, because he bricks that right there. But I'm just letting you guys know that because he's got that 76 3, do not sleep on his 3. Kevin Durant, the Sapphire card, has a really low 3. I'm pretty sure it's like a 75, and he's super consistent at the 3-point line. So just think about this card in that sense when you think about that. He's got a higher 3-point rating than James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, a bunch of cards that are out right now. So there's one thing to keep in mind when you do look at this card. But anyways, you can see that this card has really nice dunking animations. Boom, baby. These are all posterizing dunking animations. You can see that he's a fairly tall shooting guard. He looks taller than he is. He is only 6'7", but at shooting guard, that's very, very efficient. If you're running a tall lineup, guy is super good for it. He shoots off the dribble in the mid-range really nice. I don't think I've missed one mid-range with him. Like, look at how butter that release is. That's one thing we're going to pay attention to really quickly. He's got a quick release, but it's not an ugly release. It's not too quick. It's not too slow. It's just right. That sounds kind of weird to say, like, out loud, but when I think about it, that is how his release is. It's super easy to use. The card is super consistent. The pros to this card is that he's an all-around player. You can put a ball control shoe on him, and boom, he's speed boosting for you, and you can run him at point guard if you want. I would recommend not doing it because of his passing stats, and some people will be like, passing stats don't matter. Passing stats definitely matter with how I've experienced this game. A lot of things matter with how they seem to have changed the gameplay mechanics, even though they should fix the frame rate so I can start bringing you guys gameplays, because I'm done just playing domination and things like that. I've been doing some Supermax, but that's nothing that's gameplay related really. But anyways, pros are he can dunk, he can get to the rim, he can spread out the floor, and he can have a ball control shoe for people that want to finesse and dribble around with him. And he comes with 6 gold badges, which are all effective for him. So how can you really turn that down about the card? The only thing I see being a con on this card isn't even really a con. The con about this card is that he doesn't play defense like Kawhi Leonard. He can play defense, don't get me wrong. This card, amazing defender. He's just not a Kawhi Leonard. He's more offensive oriented than defense. I don't think that's a bad thing, but that's as far as I can think of for cons. The card does not get tired very easily. The card has an amazing offensive consistency. The card has an amazing mid-range, and I guess another con would be the fact that he doesn't have a 93.0 like some people would expect a shooting guard to have. Obviously, he's not a sharpshooting shooting guard. He's a driving to the basket, shot creating shooting guard for those of you that are wondering. Now, why would I recommend this card over a lot of other shooting guards that are out, such as Monte Ellis, Isaiah Ryder, Dan Marley, other collection rewards? Now, I think he's completely worth it. Number one, James Harden, the Sapphire one, doesn't play defense. This card obviously is all around, but if we're talking collections, this card is much, much cheaper to complete than Monte Ellis or Isaiah Ryder. Collecting the first 4 cards like Kevin Durant, Steph, Clay, and Draymond Green is already $45K you do not need to waste on a Ruby card. Monte Ellis might be worth it later, but it's definitely not worth it now. You do not need to go ahead and get that card. This card this collection I completed for fairly cheap. I believe I spent around $15K. The only reason it was expensive really was because I overpaid for Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving. I was in a rush to complete this collection for you guys, but the main reason is I think he's one of the best like price for what you get cards. Like, you can go ahead and get, the only other card I see comparing to this card honestly is Dan Marley. Dan Marley is the only card I could see being a fairly cheap collection for it being a two-way guard. He can shoot, he can also play defense, but Dan Marley, the thing is, he cannot get to the basket like other cards. But those are the reasons I definitely would recommend that you guys go ahead and pick this card up. But if you did enjoy this, don't forget to leave a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new. Thanks for watching, and take care.